Hello, welcome back to the Armenian Museum of America. I'm Gary Lind-Sinanian, and today I'd like to share some other artifacts from the collection with you. I was recently asked to do something Christmas-oriented about Armenians, what artifacts we have that are Christmas-oriented. When I went through our collection, well, we really don't have a lot because Christmas among Armenians is celebrated very differently than it is in the West, of course. So but I did come across an idea, and so I want to talk today about Ross Bagdasarian. His full name was Rosemary Bagdasarian. He was from Fresno, an entertainer, and he's very well known. Not necessarily by that name or whether one of his products is known. Ross was raised in Fresno. He was a cousin of William Saroyan, and they wrote a song called "Come On in My House," which they wrote in 1939 while they were driving around New Mexico, and they were just hacking around, and they made up the song. The song eventually was recorded by Rosemary Clooney in 1950 and became her biggest hit of the year. And so, "Come On in My House," we have a version of it here sung by Rosemary Clooney, Columbia Records. What it is basically is an Armenian folk song that's been jazzed up, to give it a foot tap and kind of beat to it. But when you listen to it, you realize it is an Armenian folk song. And so the lyrics were written by Saroyan, and Bagdasarian used the melody, altered it. This became well known, and then in 1958, Ross made up a new song which was called "My Son the Witch Doctor," which included the magical phrase "ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang, ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang." And when he did that was he took the singing it slow, ooh ee ooh ah ah, and he speeded it up on the tape, so it sounded very high pitched, and it became a novelty song, and it was really a big hit in 1958. And so the 1958, the company that did it, Liberty Records, asked him, "Can you do something else like that?" And he thought about it, and he said, "Yeah, I get an idea." And so he made a recording, and this is a copy of the original recording from 1958. And one side of it was "Ode Most Good," which didn't really go over. And the other song was the Chipmunks song, and that became a sensation. And everybody loved the Chipmunks. The three Chipmunks, which he named them, too bad he didn't name them something Armenian like Armin, Shahag, and Turkum, but he names it Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, after three of the recording engineers at Liberty Records, which is where this was made. So it was an in-joke, naming the Chipmunks after some of his associates. And this became a big hit, Alvin and the Chipmunks. And they ended up with, on 1958, the song became #1. 1959, he was on Ed Sullivan. 1961, they had a cartoon series on TV, Alvin and the Chipmunks. The rumors that there was resentment behind stage, that Simon and Theodore resented Alvin always hogging the limelight, are not true. Actually, they had a very good relationship, the three brothers. But the song was very popular, and this is some of the material related to Alvin the Chipmunks here. And this is one of our, Alvin the Chipmunks Sing Christmas Songs. This is one of our cassettes in the collection. And the song became very popular, and Alvin and the Chipmunks was a very commercial. But Bagdasarian died in 1972 at age 52, and so was the push for Alvin and the Chipmunks stopped. And Alvin could have been rescinded to history, like Peppino the Italian Mouse or the Purple People Eater, who were rivals of Alvin as far as attention. But Ross Bagdasarian Jr., his son, had inherited the property and the Chipmunks, and he began promoting it and keeping it going. And so the Chipmunks continued, and they had another TV show in 1989. They were making cartoon movies, Alvin the Chipmunks meets the Wolfman, Alvin the Chipmunks meet Frankenstein. And then a series of movies with Alvin the Chipmunks here. And notice their clothing updated. You have to go with the times, and so they became rather the boys and the Chipmunks in the hood kind of look to it. But all these Chipmunks and all this is all due to Ross Bagdasarian Sr. and his son Ross Bagdasarian Jr. and their promotion of Alvin, and they become part of American history. And whenever you hear somebody talking in a really high-pitched voice, that's usually called a chipmunk voice. And it's called a chipmunk voice because of the Alvin and the Chipmunks. And so it's part of the American vocabulary based on this particular singing group which he had created, Ross Bagdasarian. He called himself David Seville professionally, but he was an Armenian. You'll find him other things too. If you ever watched the Alfred Hitchcock movie Rear Window, at Rear Window, Jimmy Stewart, he's of course in a wheelchair, and he's looking out in the back courtyard. He sees these windows there, and he's watching people in the windows and thinking about what they're doing. And one of the people was this man playing a piano who was the life of the party. There was people, he was partying all the time, this guy. And one of the people at his party was Alfred Hitchcock. You can see Alfred right there. Well, that was Ross Bagdasarian playing the role of the partygoer in the movie. And so he was a well-known fixture around Hollywood. But his greatest claim to fame is Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they still go on strong today. The Armenian Museum is here to share our history, our culture, our stories with you, the public. We thank you for joining us. If you want to join us, you can go onto our website and membership. This is our 50th anniversary. Until next time, stay safe.